Hey gang, welcome to the Philippines. Today I'm going to talk about some really strange myths and superstitions that I have seen or heard about here in the Philippines. Things that really just make me kind of chuckle in some ways, but lots of people take them really seriously here. So the first one of these deals with rain, and this is also the very first one that I encountered when I first visited the Philippines many years ago. And what it is that there are a lot of people in the Philippines, my wife included at the time before we were married, who believed that if you got rained on, that it was going to make you sick. So they would use umbrellas or whatever, but the water from the rain was somehow going to make you come down with the flu. And even later on, when we have kids, you know, my wife's kind of like doesn't want them out in the rain because she feels that, even though I've kind of tried to talk her out of it since then and she's come around. But a lot of people believe that here. I mean, it's a ton of people that you don't go out in the rain because it's going to somehow make you sick. And I always thought this was kind of amusing because my thought process is, well, when I'm in the shower, you know, the water's coming down on me. Why doesn't it, you know, make me sick then? But they believe there's some sort of elements or pollution or something in the rain, which to me seems like one of the more purer sources of water that you would have, is going to make them sick. And so, you know, the first thing they do when they get out of the rain is they go, if they accidentally get into it, is they'll go and they'll like take showers to wash away the bad water, to bathe, to get it off of there. So it's something that, I mean, I've never heard of anywhere else in all of my travels, thinking that rainwater was somehow going to make you sick. Next is dealing with the Asawang, and this is a legend here in the Philippines about a creature that basically preys on pregnant women to try to suck, has a really long tongue, and will basically try to suck the life force out of the baby. It's some sort of a demon spawn thing. And the first time I came across this was, I was living in America, me and my wife were, and we watch a lot of television shows together, you know, just in the evenings to have something to do. And we were watching a series called Grimm many years ago. It was about a guy who goes, like the Brothers Grimm, hunting down mythological creatures. And it came on, it was, I think this was the first episode we had seen of the series actually, and it had that creature on there, and my wife was like, oh my God, that's a Philippines creature, that's real, that's in the Philippines. And, you know, there it was, you know, right there on the channel. Now, I didn't think much more about it after that. I mean, that's kind of like our vampire in the West or werewolf or something. So I didn't think much more about it until years later I'd come back to the Philippines. And again, I was meeting with some family members and somehow that came up. And there were a couple ladies there that I'm related to. And these were, I mean, these are highly educated people. We're talking about they have bachelor's degree in some sort of science and stuff. And they were talking about how this was real, and that one night they had heard the Asawang outside their window. And at first I'm just kind of looking at them like, okay, I'm being pranked, right? Nobody really believes this stuff. But no, they were deadly serious about this and had really believed that this thing had come. So there are people here that take it very seriously. Me, I mean, I'm somebody who kind of, as an attorney, I always need evidence of something, and I certainly haven't seen any believable evidence that this is anything more than a superstition. Next is what is called Pog Pog, and this is where, after attending a funeral or being at a graveyard, that they take the clothes and they shake them. And they shake them in order to get the ghosts of the dead or the spirits out of the clothing. And I had actually never heard of this one until basically last year when I was living here in the Philippines. It's something I've never heard from anywhere else, but it's apparently a superstition and things that they actually do. The garbage man is here and he's letting us know that they do when leaving a funeral. finally, and these are kind of blended together, is that there's a belief in talismans here in the Philippines, that they can have a metal or something that's magically enchanted that they wear, and they can use it for different purposes. First time I'd heard about it was somebody was telling me about how the soldiers in Mindanao, when they're going out to go and fight the insurgencies or the communists or stuff, that they would have these medallions that are blessed or somehow magicked up that would prevent them from being able to be hit by bullets, or that bullets would bounce off them and wouldn't hurt. And realistically, there are people that wear those here and believe that. I wouldn't be one that I would want to try to get one of those and put it to the test, but there are people that believe that and believe that those do work and that they believe in these magics. They also believe in certain talismans and magical items that can be used. So if somebody's trying to get into someone's compound, and here in the Philippines, people have dogs guarding the house to alert you and let you know when strangers are coming in. And so they believe that there are talismans that can be made that will make the dogs go quiet and that they won't alert, and that you can pass right by them because you can't be seen. And there's other things, other types of talismans and other types of devices. And that's, you know, we see that also in the West. Okay, another superstition here in the Philippines, and this is one that I have to deal with on a daily basis, involves babies. So when you have a son or a baby here in the Philippines, they believe, many Filipinos believe, that you do not cut that child's hair. You have to wait until exactly their first birthday. And on that birthday, then you can finally give them a haircut. You then take a locket of that child's hair and you place it in a book. And the superstition is that if you do this, then the child will actually be really smart. It will make them smarter. And like I said, this is one that I have to deal with on a daily basis, because if you look at my son, who's not 1 year old yet, but you just look at this kid and he hasn't had a haircut, because I have to deal with this with his mom, God bless her. I didn't realize that the superstition was until recently. I thought it was because we were afraid of poking their eyes out, you know, or something with scissors. But that turns out to be what the superstition is. And it's awful in some ways because people keep mistaking him for a girl. And I have to explain, no, he's a boy. So that's what I live with. All right, guys, if you enjoyed that, make sure that you hit the subscribe button so you can find it again. Hit the like button. Tell YouTube that this was interesting so other people can be entertained as well.